This ended up in the trash. I just had to go through a garbage chute, just like Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia did in Star Wars Episode 4, New Hope. There was no Chewbacca for my adventure. Not this time. But guys, literally, this ended up in the trash. We have it. What are we talking about? We're still in Alien Week. I get it, it's Saturday. I'm supposed to be presenting something. This is something new. This is something I haven't seen. I knew it existed, but I never quite thought about it. Well, here we are. We're going to rip it open for the first time. We're going to hit that drawing table. Alien Covenant, the drawings of David. I'm going to put this down. Let me make my case. You know what? We'll bring this back up so I can lean on it. It's my channel. Let me make the argument of why I like Alien Covenant. Let me make the argument of what the outliers are of the entire Alien timeline. I get it. AVPR. We're not, that one's out. But Alien 1979 Aliens. To me, Aliens, it doesn't quite fit anymore. It's just like this it's just a straight up action movie. It doesn't fit with everything from AVP going all the way through Alien Resurrection. Alien 1979 is the outlier with the gestation period. All the other movies, they have a quick gestation period. That makes perfect sense. Everything that we've seen in Prometheus, the black goo, the experimentations that David does on Shaw to create another xenomorph. See, I believe, and this is just what we see on camera, there's no correlation with what xenomorphs or the genealogy of the xenomorph from movie to movie. The engineers fully well could have been aware of that life form, and they've tried to weaponize it or do other things. That's what makes Prometheus so effing cool. It's just watching that movie and just trying to imagine or think about what the hell those guys were up to before Shaw and her friends and David arrived. When we go through the special edition of Aliens, we see that Newt's family discover the ship. They want to claim it. They want to make some money. So they bring the whole family out to check out the alien vessel, and the father comes back with a facehugger, and then we see that incubation period from when the base gets overrun and some of the timelines that we hear about in that movie. It was very quick. Without some of those additional scenes, when we just watched the movie as it was intended, we are to believe, we're to believe that we're at the original incubation period for the timeline, to where that base or atmosphere station, when it got overrun, it just took longer. But no, in reality, it was very quick. So this is what I mean about Alien 1979 being the outlier with the gestation period. So we go through the saga of Ripley, right? The saga of Ripley is the original Alien all the way through Alien Resurrection. The Alien Resurrection is Ripley. And Alien, and Ripley's part alien in that. The title alone, it just evokes this character arc that so many people just ignore and they walk away from. Alien Resurrection could be Ripley Resurrection. She's part alien in that. Everything that we see in Alien 3, I believe is a perfect send-off for that Ripley character. I never liked it, and I even like it with Batman and Robin, when the people who make a movie, they go on this like apology tour, and you see this in a lot of the press for Alien Resurrection, where they're like, well, we didn't get the last one quite right, we're going to get this one right. AKAPADers, sell that to someone else. The work that you make ends up for us to interpret and us to decipher. I don't like creators at all speaking about their work. Once the work is done, it is out in the ether, and we absorb it, and we determine we can even determine its intent. I'm all for Alien 3. I love, just on a little bit of a side note, I love the lore around the production of Alien 3. I like the wild ideas that just orbited that entire movie. If we wanted to expand the idea of the xenomorph, yeah, if we wanted to see the xenomorph adapt from its host, I believe the original one was a cow, but they changed it to a dog or vice versa for Alien 3. But again, too, like these were wild and fun ideas. We have to change the creature from movie to movie. A lot of individuals don't quite understand that. So when it comes to Prometheus, and keep in mind, Prometheus echoes Aliens vs. Predator. Those two movies have the parallel 30 minutes. The intent of Weyland in both of those movies run parallel. The Weyland that we see in Aliens vs. Predator is the Prometheus Weyland. It's amazing. His character arc, seen to his first discovery to his end, it's poetic in so many ways. His arc is very similar to Ripley. The hopes and dreams of discovery, the hopes and dreams of what they wanted to find in Prometheus, or later what they wanted to find in Ripley, again, they echo one another. I believe it's fantastic. We can't get into Aliens vs. Predator Requiem, but we do have to agree, very fast incubation period for the alien predator, or the pred alien, whatever the heck they want to call it. But hey, guys, a lot of fan service there. I love that design. That movie was made for one half of the budget of AVP. I believe that needs to get said. I like the way that movie's shot, though. I just like the way it ends up on film. Yes, some of it does look fake, but again, I'm watching the movie. I don't mind things looking fake. I can get past that. So when it comes to Alien Covenant, and that's where we are right here. To me, the true horror of Alien Covenant isn't the rapid, like, I love how fast the proto xenomorphs are, or the xenomorphs, the white ones, the baby one that, you know, like, that gives us our first like taste of the xenomorph. That baby one, like the spine burster or back burster, it's awesome. That scene is great. I don't understand the hate for Alien Covenant. To me, it's a straight up alien movie. It's rapid, it's quick. The music is fantastic. Especially that scene where they're rushing back to the ship before the ship explodes and they all kind of get stranded. It's intense. It's so there. And then seeing and getting hints of what David did with Shaw to experiment and to create. And then at the end of that movie, he ends up with 2,000 other colonists to experiment on. The whole arc of David between Prometheus and Covenant, it's so there. And I know I'm talking a lot of fanboy. I'm talking in a lot of platitudes right now. But I view this book and somewhat betraying myself of not getting it and not having it fully on my radar until now. But that's why we like doing a lot of these themed weeks, because the deep dive that I go into is nothing but discovery. I love it so much. So I want to crack this open with you guys for the first time. I didn't even go to YouTube. Sometimes I'll go to YouTube real quick to see if anyone else did like a flip through or a unboxing. There were a few there. I didn't see many. So I'm hoping that we can contribute to a little bit of that with a full blind unboxing and maybe some appreciation for Alien Covenant and how close that was to what people wanted. Alien is a franchise that just cannot make people happy. It's head spinning. The range of these movies and the arcs within these movies, I think it's very significant. And it makes it a lot of fun, and I like all the debates that these movies bring up, and they should be debates. It should be ideas and takes and positions versus another. There's no absolutes. The franchise doesn't allow that. I do believe that franchises like the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Star Wars invite absolutes, because the intent of all of those is far different than the intent of Alien. And yes, I get to decide what that intent is. So let's hit that drawing table and let's just have some fun. Let's appreciate Alien Covenant. Let's go. That's not what we're looking for, aka Patters. We're not looking for Pike or Crypt, our table mascots. Say hello to the boys. We're looking for Alien Covenant, David's drawings. It's nice and silver. This thing just looks spectacular. This is roughly a $50 book, right? Retails for $50, and it comes off like a $70 book. Do we need to be a little bit higher? Do we need to reach for those clouds? Here we go. David's drawings. Why do we have Aliens Earth War here? Because I've just been obsessively reading this comic. The video should be up by now. This book really so somewhere either between the panels or between miniseries of the original Dark Horse run, the aliens completely take over Earth. I had no idea, and I'm trying to figure that out. Welcome to my life. Let's get this open. I like these insert breakdowns because they preserve what the design is. There was a time where you would get the shrink wrap, and this would be printed. It would be printed on the back. It would be like printed here, and would just destroy the whole experience of having a book like this. Alien Covenant, developing the art of an android. An interview with the artist. That is cool. Look how thick that interview is. Dane Hallett, Matt Hatton. I'm not even sure who. It's a lovingly crafted, perverted homage to Elizabeth Shaw. Yeah, this is cool. Check out the interview. I imagine David's affections for Elizabeth to be quite genuine. Only they manifest in a way that a serial killer might love a victim. I mean, absolute body horror. So like the face hugger. This is beyond cool. I don't know why. Like, why do we hate this movie? I know I had a long intro talking about it, but why do we hate this? By the way, AKA Powers, that intro was a few days ago. Look, here we got the proto form right here. I love the white alien, though. That is such a cool idea. People are like, you might just say, well, they just made it white. Yeah, I know, but it's cool. An engineer, potentially. I still say, yeah, numerous studies of engineers. I still say, oh, look at the cross-section. It's getting into the headspace of the character. This is cool. I can't wait to read this interview. This is huge. Finally, we've received the feedback. What is wrong with those guys? Yes. This is nuts. So, I still say that the world that they trace the signal to... Oh, look at the alien egg cross-section here. I still say the world that they land on, that they go to, from the end of Prometheus to the beginning of Covenant, the flashback, essentially. I still say... those are not engineers. Oh, cool. So this is really, like, it's kind of just, it's printed to make it look like it's on his sheets of paper. Very cool. The paper quality for this is awesome. It's kind of like, it's matte finished, but it has a little bit of texture to it. Just like nice stuff. It's good to see this style of art of just the rendering, lots of cross hatching, lots of deep shadows to just show off the forms. And I think in a way, like, look, peas in a pod. like in a way though, when we learn to draw, we study this type of stuff. So it's really nice to see someone that's probably been doing it for a long time, a little bit more regular with this style of art. I forget the scientific, like this has like a scientific name. This type of study. It's not coming to mind. Here we go. Like the spores that we see. What's his name? Sucks those in. This is just beyond cool. This really makes me appreciate the movie on a whole other level. Nice centipede here. And I think it's even a little bit cooler that David's an android, right? He can do everything perfectly. So this is his style. In a way, it needs to be a style that you would be convinced David could get away with. See, I like that too, like the quick contour. You might want to say that this was potentially even traced, but then like shadowed. It doesn't matter. It looks good. Drawing. Look, the hip bone here with the spinal column. These things are not easy to get to. Oh man, and we're going to get into some of the creepiness. Sorry. That's what we want. Here we go. Look, the spores. Right, and that's very, like, isn't that very G.I. Joe the movie? Isn't that what, like, explodes in Cobra Commander's face to make him into a Mr. Snake? I do feel like, I hate to say it, these gesture drawings could be better. 1,000%, even this head here. Yeah, I mean, like, some of this is, you can always tell an anime artist to what they have memorized to like what's practiced versus to what's not. But some people do have that eye. That's why you have to see. This is cool. Look, the ideas of the face hugger. Look, like a little like air sac on the back instead of on the chest. Here we go. The protoform alien. Like, and what is this? Like, what is that? Here we go. The chest burster. Really strong stuff. This is just beyond cool. Like, you kind of want to say this is a movie of its own. I remember, like, the original idea for the chest burster was that he had a coiled, there was a coiled tail, and it was like a spring, and it could spring out of the egg. Very creepy here. This is just awesome. I like the air sac. It sucks that you only see these for a fraction of a second in the movie. And you really want to say, like, David has a photographic mind. Again, like, he's an android. He doesn't have to write anything down. And very similar to, like, in Prometheus, when he's watching Lawrence of Arabia and he adopts the blonde hair. You want to say, like, this is him just trying to be human. And it's like, man, like, you're being human in the most weirdest way, the most odd way, dude. The weirdest way possible. I kind of forget if, right, the people he attacks in the beginning, if there's like survivors, right? Because like, is he crossbreeding the engineers with the alien goo with like his experiments on Dr. Shaw? Like, we kind of want to say potentially that's what he does here. I just like the anatomy of the engineers. They're just like giant thick boys. Wow, look at this one. This one is just like beyond deadly. Like, there's something welcoming of the face hugger. Like, there's something sterile about how that looks. Right? Like, these are too spider-like. They're too jagged, too sharp. There's like, something very safe about the face hugger, meaning it can not damage its victim, its host. Like these are cool too. Look, the spears from the back, the pipes, right? The pipes from the back, right here. So then we get like stuff like that. This really is wild. Like, and I know we get into some of the Shaw stuff. Like, look at this, like the cross section of the engineer's head. And don't forget, oh, look at this with the spinal column. And don't forget, we leave this movie with David having 2,000 colonists to experiment on. There you go, close up of that with the pipes. Some of this stuff is just crazy, bizarre. I wonder how long a lot of this took, though, because these are very detailed. These take time. The flower shawl is just nuts. And here we go. See, we get some of the Giger stuff. And you kind of want to say, too, like, some of these are his, like, fantasies, right? Like, this is where it's, like, maybe the idea of, like, the queen. I gotta read that interview book. Wow, great likeness here. Look, that looks just like Shaw. And we see, I say, we see shades of Species in this. The design work for Species. This one's just horrific. Even with that profile, though, like, I'm not joking. That looks like the actress. I forget the actress's name. But these, I like the fantasy ones, though. That's kind of cool, too. Like, whatever that's supposed to be. But that is just too creepy. There we go. Right, and we see some of that. I think we see that. Like, they kind of focus that on in the movie. This is beyond cool, aka Powders. It really is. First edition 2018. I don't understand why people hate this movie so much. I have to read this. I really do. If there's really things of note on this, we'll do a extended episode. Because, you know, like, maybe I'm a little bit out of the practice of reading artist interviews. That's all I used to read at one time, and I just moved on. But maybe I should get back into it. I think it's time. But I love this movie. What can I say?